Life can sometimes feel like a relentless storm, where the winds of adversity seem too strong to withstand. We've all faced moments when it felt like we couldn't go any further. But what if I told you that just like a birch tree, which thrives only when it faces powerful winds in its early years, you too can grow stronger through life's challenges? The birch tree, in its early stages, cannot grow without the harsh winds. These winds force its roots to grow deep and strong, anchoring it firmly in the soil. As it matures, it becomes resilient, able to stand tall and weather any storm. In the same way, life's hardships are the winds that, though difficult, can help us build the internal strength we need to rise above them. So how do you weather life's storms without being broken? How do you build the resilience to not just survive, but thrive? In this video, we'll explore how Stoic philosophy teaches us to transform challenges into opportunities for growth and how to cultivate the inner strength needed to remain steadfast. You'll learn practical Stoic techniques to control your emotions, remain calm in adversity, and find peace within, no matter what life throws at you. But the most powerful part? I'll show you how you can apply these lessons today so you can rise stronger, just like the birch tree. Stay tuned and let's dive in. And if you know someone who needs this message, share it with them now. Also, I'd love to hear your stories of overcoming adversity. Share them in the comments below. 1. Control perception and live in the present. In the face of adversity, when emotions run high and the weight of the world presses upon our shoulders, it is easy to become overwhelmed. Yet, it is precisely in these moments of struggle that the Stoic teachings offer us the greatest wisdom. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." These words call us to examine our perceptions, to understand that how we view a situation greatly influences how we respond to it. When faced with challenges, it is common to feel as though the world is against us. Our thoughts spiral, and emotions like fear, frustration, or even despair take control. Depression is a perfect example of this. It's an internal storm where the mind clouds over with negative thoughts and the heart feels heavy with sadness. Yet, through Stoic practice, we can step outside of these emotions and view them not as absolute truths, but as fleeting states that we have the power to shape. Imagine the feeling of hopelessness that comes with depression. It can be overwhelming and suffocating. The weight of past mistakes or fears of the future can paralyze us, and our perception of life becomes distorted. But what Stoicism teaches us is that we are not prisoners to our perceptions. We have the ability to control how we interpret our circumstances. Instead of being consumed by past regrets or future anxieties, we can redirect our focus to the present. This shift in focus is not about ignoring the pain or pretending it doesn't exist. It is about acknowledging the emotion and then choosing not to be defined by it. In the present moment, we still possess the power of choice, the choice to act, to think, to be at peace despite external circumstances. Stoic meditation encourages us to sit with our thoughts, observe them, and then consciously choose how to respond. It's in this moment of choice that we find our freedom. To control our perception is to reclaim our strength. Stoicism teaches us that we are not victims of our emotions or circumstances. Rather, we are the architects of our thoughts. When we are caught in a storm of overwhelming emotions, we can always return to the present where our true power lies. By focusing on the present, we disconnect from the past's burdens and the future's uncertainties. Take, for instance, a moment when you feel overcome with despair. Instead of letting that despair dictate your actions, take a step back and breathe. In that breath, you reclaim the power to shift your focus to the here and now. The past no longer controls you, and the future does not yet exist. You are present, fully aware, and in control of your next thought and your next action. By practicing this daily, you begin to strengthen your mental resilience. As Marcus Aurelius wisely put it, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." This practice of focusing on the now helps us cultivate inner peace, allowing us to move through life's challenges with calm and clarity. When we live in the present, we embrace life for what it is, not what it was, not what it might be, but what it is right now. This awareness is a powerful tool, and it is always within our reach, always. When the world feels too heavy, remember, you hold the power to control your perception and to find peace in the present moment. Turn adversity into an opportunity for growth. In life, adversity is inevitable. We all face moments of hardship, moments when it feels as though the world is closing in. Yet it is in these very moments that the Stoic philosophy offers us a profound insight. Adversity is not a barrier, but a doorway. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. When challenges arise, they often feel overwhelming, like insurmountable obstacles. However, Stoicism teaches us to view these challenges differently, not as obstacles to our happiness, but as opportunities for growth. In the depths of struggle, we are given the chance to forge our strength and build our character. Consider this: the most difficult periods in your life, the moments you thought you could never get through, are often the moments that shape you the most. The pain, the failure, the disappointment. They are not just trials, they are the very things that teach us what we are made of. In these moments, we have the chance to choose how we respond. We can let them break us, or we can use them to build resilience, deepen our wisdom, and grow stronger. Growth, however, is not an automatic process. It requires conscious effort. Just as a tree grows stronger through the harsh winds of life, so too must we cultivate our strength through continuous learning and self-improvement. In times of difficulty, it is wise to take a step back and reflect. What is this challenge offering me? What can I learn from it? What skills or wisdom can I acquire that will help me not just survive, but thrive? Take this time to grow. Seek out new knowledge. Dive into something you've always been passionate about, or something that challenges you. Learning a new skill, picking up a book, or developing a new habit, these actions will pay dividends in the future. As Seneca reminds us, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Just as a muscle grows through resistance, so too does our inner strength grow through the resistance we face in life. Think of a personal hardship you are currently facing. What if you saw it not as a setback, but as an opportunity to transform? What if, instead of succumbing to feelings of despair, you chose to use this time to develop a new skill or to build your emotional resilience? The beauty of adversity lies in its ability to reveal our capacity for growth if we are willing to embrace it. By actively seeking to learn, by choosing to grow, and by using every challenge as an opportunity to cultivate wisdom, we not only rise above the difficulty at hand, but we also set ourselves up for greater success in the future. Growth is a choice. It is a decision we make in the moment of hardship, deciding that this moment will not define us, but refine us. Remember, every storm that shakes us offers a chance to stand firmer. It is through our challenges that we find our greatest strength. Embrace them, learn from them, and watch how they shape you into the person you are meant to be. Growth begins where adversity ends, and it is through this journey that we truly come to understand the depth of our resilience. 3. Practice mindfulness and gratitude. In the fast pace of life, it is all too easy to overlook the simple blessings that surround us every day. We get caught in the whirlwind of our daily tasks, and the weight of challenges often blinds us to the beauty of the present moment. Yet, Stoicism teaches us a profound truth. Peace and resilience are found in the present, and cultivating gratitude is one of the most powerful tools we have for strengthening our inner fortitude. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflects on the importance of being grateful for the life we have. He reminds us, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Gratitude, then, is not just a feeling, but a mindset, one that shapes the way we perceive the world around us. When we choose to focus on the blessings in our lives, we shift our perspective from scarcity to abundance, from despair to hope. One of the most powerful practices we can adopt is the act of journaling. Each day, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you are grateful for. They don't have to be grand gestures. They could be as simple as the warmth of the sun on your skin, the kindness of a stranger, or the love of family and friends. Writing these things down is a reminder that no matter how difficult life may seem, there are always moments of beauty and grace to appreciate. This practice is not just about feeling thankful. It is about training the mind to recognize the good, to focus on what is within our control, and to cultivate peace amid the chaos. When we train ourselves to see the positive, to acknowledge the small blessings, we build a foundation of inner peace that can withstand any storm. In addition to journaling, mindfulness is an essential practice in the Stoic tradition. Mindfulness teaches us to be present, to fully engage with the current moment without being overwhelmed by past regrets or future worries. Through yoga, meditation, or simple breathing exercises, we reconnect with our body and mind, allowing ourselves the space to rest and recharge. When we take time to be present, we ground ourselves in the now, making it easier to appreciate the life we have. Think of a time when you felt deeply grateful. Perhaps it was after overcoming a personal challenge or simply enjoying a quiet moment of peace. In those moments, you felt whole, connected, and at peace with the world. Gratitude and mindfulness have the power to transform our experience of life, shifting our focus away from what is lacking and bringing us back to what truly matters. By practicing gratitude and mindfulness every day, we not only cultivate a more positive outlook on life, but also nurture our emotional resilience. It is through these practices that we develop the strength to face life's challenges with a calm heart, knowing that no matter what happens, we can always find something to be grateful for. In this way, Stoic wisdom becomes more than just philosophy. It becomes a way of life, one that grounds us in the present and opens our hearts to the beauty that surrounds us. So, take a moment each day to pause, reflect, and give thanks. By embracing gratitude and mindfulness, we unlock a deeper sense of inner strength, allowing us to navigate life's storms with a steady heart and a clear mind. In the present, there is peace, and in peace, there is resilience. 4. Cultivate rational thinking. In the face of adversity, when emotions swirl and the world seems out of control, rational thinking becomes our anchor. Stoicism teaches us that it is not the events themselves that determine our happiness or success, but how we respond to them. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. The ability to control our reactions, to think clearly, logically, and rationally, gives us the resilience to face even the toughest challenges with calm and purpose. Rational thinking is the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. It encourages us to evaluate situations objectively, without the distortion of emotions. When we react impulsively, our judgment is clouded, and we may make decisions that we later regret. But when we pause, take a breath, and engage our reason, we are able to step outside of our emotions and see the situation for what it truly is. Consider a moment when you felt overwhelmed by a difficult situation. Perhaps a problem at work, a personal setback, or a disagreement with a loved one. In the heat of the moment, your emotions might have been strong: anger, fear, frustration. Yet, if you had taken a step back and thought about the situation with rationality, what might you have seen? Could you have found a different, calmer approach? More often than not, rational thinking allows us to discover solutions we might have overlooked in the rush of emotion. In Stoicism, reason is not just a tool to solve problems, but a way to live, to guide our thoughts, actions, and choices. Seneca teaches us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This mastery comes through cultivating the habit of thinking critically, of challenging our assumptions, and of seeking the truth in every situation. To practice rational thinking, we must first become aware of our emotional reactions. When a strong emotion arises, instead of reacting immediately, pause. Ask yourself, what is really happening here? What can I control? What is beyond my control? This simple shift in perspective is powerful. It allows us to separate facts from feelings, helping us to make informed, thoughtful decisions rather than reacting out of fear or anger. A practical way to strengthen your rational thinking is through self-reflection. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to review your thoughts and actions. Were there moments when emotions clouded your judgment? Could you have responded differently? By regularly reflecting on our experiences, we gain greater insight into our thought patterns and become more adept at recognizing when our emotions are influencing our decisions. Another powerful tool for cultivating rational thinking is journaling. Write down your thoughts, especially in moments of distress or confusion. By putting your emotions and thoughts on paper, you can see them from a new angle and evaluate them with more clarity. This practice helps to disengage from the swirl of emotion and brings us back to a place of reason. By integrating rational thinking into our daily lives, we create a solid foundation for facing challenges. We begin to see adversity not as a threat, but as an opportunity to engage our minds and grow stronger. As Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Through rational thinking, we take back control of our lives, and we gain the strength to navigate life's storms with confidence and clarity. 5. Develop humility and empathy. In our journey through life, it is easy to become consumed by our own struggles, to believe that our challenges are the heaviest, our pain the greatest. Yet Stoicism teaches us a profound lesson. True strength is found not in how we elevate ourselves above others, but in how we humble ourselves and connect with the humanity in others. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: which of my own faults most resembles what I am about to criticize? Humility and empathy are not merely virtues to be admired. They are the cornerstones of inner strength. In times of difficulty, we often find ourselves defensive or judgmental, projecting our own fears and insecurities onto others. But the Stoic path urges us to turn inward, to recognize our own imperfections before we judge others. Through humility, we see that we, too, are flawed, and in our flaws, we find the opportunity for connection. Why is humility so important? When we approach life with a humble heart, we are open to learning, to growing, and to understanding. Seneca teaches us a good character, when it's true to itself, doesn't seek admiration or recognition. It is rooted in wisdom, not in pride. Humility is not about belittling ourselves. It is about recognizing our place in the grand scheme of life and acknowledging that we are all part of something much greater than our individual selves. Empathy follows humility. To understand others, we must first understand ourselves, our own struggles, our own flaws. When we do this, we are more able to empathize with those around us. Empathy is the ability to step into someone else's shoes, to understand their pain, joy, and fears. When we listen with an open heart, without judgment, we create a space for true connection. In that space, we find the strength to support one another through life's challenges. Take a moment to think about someone you may have judged, someone whose actions or words did not sit well with you. Now reflect. Have you ever been in a situation where you acted in a similar way out of fear, frustration, or pain? When we recognize our shared humanity, we are less likely to react with criticism and more likely to respond with compassion. The Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control teaches us that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can control our reactions to them. Empathy is a powerful way to control our reactions. When we approach others with understanding, we free ourselves from the burden of judgment and replace it with the peace that comes from compassion. In this way, humility and empathy become practices of resilience, tools that not only build stronger connections with others, but also strengthen us from within. To develop humility, begin by listening more than you speak. Pay attention to the ideas, struggles, and needs of those around you. In doing so, you open yourself to learning, to growth, and to understanding. Cultivate the practice of self-reflection. Ask yourself how your own actions or words might affect others and where you might need to show more empathy. In this way, humility and empathy do not just enrich our relationships, they fortify us. They help us face life's challenges with grace, knowing that we are not alone in our struggles. As Marcus Aurelius said, what we do now echoes in eternity. The kindness and understanding we show today, the strength to overcome, the strength to love, and the strength to be at peace with who we are and who we are becoming. 6. Letting go and finding inner peace. There was a time in my life when I held on tightly to everything, my ambitions, my possessions, even my relationships. I believed that holding on was a sign of strength, a way to assert control over the world around me. But Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies not in holding on, but in letting go. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Often, it is not the obstacles themselves that limit us, but our inability to release them and move forward. We hold on to the past, to grudges, to regrets, to the idea that we must control everything in our lives. But in doing so, we only increase our suffering. Letting go does not mean abandoning our goals or our values. It means releasing the emotional attachment to outcomes beyond our control. It means accepting what is, without the need to cling to it. Inner peace comes from this release. It is found when we stop trying to control the uncontrollable and instead focus on what we can control: our thoughts, our actions, and our reactions. As Epictetus taught, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. The more we let go of the need to control every detail of our lives, the more peace we invite into our hearts. Take, for example, the constant anxiety that arises from striving for perfection, from holding on to an ideal of how things should be. We become frustrated when life doesn't meet our expectations. But perfection is an illusion, and surrendering to imperfection is the key to finding peace. In the act of letting go, we free ourselves from the emotional burden of unmet expectations. This process of release is not easy, but it is liberating. I remember a time when I struggled to let go of a toxic relationship. I held on, thinking that if I could just change things, everything would improve. But in truth, it wasn't until I let go, emotionally detached from the need to control the outcome, that I found the peace I was searching for. In that release, I was able to see clearly, to accept the situation, and to find freedom from the emotional turmoil it had caused. Stoicism teaches that acceptance is a powerful tool for emotional resilience. It is not about resignation or giving up. It is about embracing reality as it is, without resistance. When we accept life's imperfections, we stop fighting against the flow of events, and we begin to flow with them. This acceptance is a profound act of self-control and a path to inner peace. We often think that letting go means losing something important, but in truth, it is in the act of release that we discover the strength to move forward. Peace is not found in clinging to what we cannot change, but in accepting the things that we cannot control and focusing our energy on what we can influence. By letting go, we make space for growth, for wisdom, and for a deeper sense of serenity. We stop being tethered to the past or the future and start living fully in the present. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom. Peace comes from within, and it is found when we stop clinging to external outcomes and embrace the beauty of life as it unfolds. 7. Perseverance and long-term goals. In the face of life's challenges, it often feels as though we are walking through a storm. The road ahead is unclear, and the weight of uncertainty threatens to pull us down. Yet Stoicism teaches us that enduring through difficulty is not only possible, it is the very essence of personal growth. Seneca reminds us, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. This simple yet profound insight tells us that the greatest barrier to achieving our long-term goals is not the obstacles in our way, but our lack of persistence, our willingness to stop before the breakthrough. Perseverance is not about racing toward the finish line, but about taking steady steps forward, even when the journey feels long and overwhelming. Stoics believe in the power of small, consistent actions. It is in these daily efforts, these seemingly insignificant moments of persistence, that we build the resilience to face even the most challenging times. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Each difficulty is an opportunity for growth, a chance to prove our resilience, and to keep moving toward the goals we have set for ourselves. It is important to understand that the path to achieving long-term goals is rarely smooth. There are setbacks, delays, and moments of doubt. These obstacles are inevitable, but they are not the end. They are merely part of the process. Think of a time when you faced a goal that seemed unreachable. Perhaps it was a career aspiration, a personal challenge, or a relationship that required growth. In those moments of struggle, it is easy to feel disheartened, to question whether the goal is worth the effort. But it is in those moments of doubt that perseverance is most needed. The Stoic perspective teaches us that it is the act of staying the course, even when the going gets tough, that shapes us into who we are meant to be. Perseverance is not about avoiding difficulties, but about embracing them, knowing that each trial is an essential part of our journey. Long-term goals require patience, the ability to maintain focus despite the distractions of life, and the courage to continue despite the setbacks. Perseverance also teaches us to redefine success. Success is not always about immediate results or quick wins. It is about the long-term commitment to growth, learning, and resilience. The Stoics remind us that our worth is not measured by the outcome, but by our character, by our ability to persist with integrity, even when we cannot immediately see the fruits of our labor. To cultivate perseverance, we must set clear intentions. Know your goal, but also know that the path may not be linear. Celebrate the small victories along the way and allow yourself grace during the setbacks. Self-compassion is crucial. Remember that every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. When you feel doubt creeping in, turn back to your long-term vision. Trust in the process, trust in your strength, and keep moving forward. Perseverance is the quiet force that enables us to endure through the darkest times, reminding us that strength is built over time and that no challenge is too great when we have the resolve to persist. As Epictetus wisely said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. The key to lasting success lies in our unwavering commitment to our long-term goals, the quiet courage to continue, step by step, until we reach the destination. As we reflect on the lessons we've learned today, it becomes clear that the journey to inner strength and resilience is not a destination, but a lifelong practice. Stoic philosophy has shown us that by controlling our perception, embracing adversity, practicing mindfulness, cultivating rational thinking, and nurturing humility and empathy, we have the tools we need to navigate the storms of life. But this is only the beginning. These teachings are not meant to be passively understood. They must be actively practiced day by day. Perseverance and long-term goals require consistent effort, and the path will not always be easy. Yet the true beauty of Stoicism lies in its power to transform our daily actions into meaningful, purposeful growth. Start today. Write down 3 things you are grateful for and make it a habit. Practice mindfulness and take a few moments each day to center yourself in the present. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth and cultivate the patience to pursue your long-term goals with steadfastness. The key to resilience is in the daily commitment to these practices. Don't wait for the right moment, for the right circumstances. Start now, and remember that your inner strength grows stronger with each deliberate step you take. I encourage you to share your stories in the comments below. How have you applied these principles in your life? How have they helped you become more resilient? Let us learn and grow together, one step at a time.